The next topic is stomach. Now, so from the esophagus, the food will reach the stomach. So the structure of the stomach in anatomy ma'am will explain. Okay, so I will tell just superficially I will tell. It is a C-shaped structure, bag-like structure. Okay, so it has a different parts like a body. Okay, so fundus, body and pyloric antrum and pyloric canal. Okay, so pyloric antrum and pyloric canal. So in this we can see three types of layers. Okay, longitudinal muscle, circular muscle and oblique muscle. So three types of covering are present. Okay, so in the stomach, so outer longitudinal muscle, so middle circular and inner oblique muscle. So there are three layers. So after this you should see the cut section. So then there is a, this is the called the mucosal layer. Okay, so mucosal layer which mainly contain the mucosa, submucosa. So this is duodenum, that is a small intestinal part. So whatever the food is after digestion here, the food will go to duodenum. So mainly the stomach which mainly contain the glands. Okay, that is called gastric gland. So gastric glands. So before that, so I will explain the functions of stomach. Okay, functions of the stomach. So one is the storage organ. So it acts as a temporary storage organ because it can we can eat a large amount of food at a time. So large amount of food can be eaten at a time. So all the food will get stored in the stomach and slowly get slowly it get digest and pass through the small. It take 3 to 4 hours to digest. Okay, hence it is called a storage organ. So next is digestive organ. So digestive organ means it is whatever the food you are taking. So many enzymes. So that is it secrete a gastric juice, gastric secretion. We call it as gastric secretion or gastric juice. So that get digested. So the third one is the intrinsic factor. So it is producing the intrinsic factor. So that is very important for the absorption of vitamin B12. Okay. So without intrinsic factor, the vitamin B12 get absorbed in the intestine. So that will cause the production. That is very important for the production of RBC, right? Hemopoietic function. So that is called hemopoietic function because the intrinsic factor is important for the absorption of food or absorption of vitamin B12 from the small intestine. Okay, so without the vitamin B12, the maturation, it is a maturation factor for RBC cell, right? Then bacteriolytic. So bacteriolytic, lytic means lysis, destroy. Okay, so it will because it produces acid like HCl is acidic in nature. So it whatever the bacteria which enter microorganism enter through the food, it get killed by HCl. Okay, because of acidic action. The last one, it will helpful for the conversion of Fe2 plus, that iron in the form Fe2 plus into Fe3 plus, conversion of Fe2 plus into Fe3 plus. So then only in the small intestine the iron get absorbed. So these are the main functions of the stomach. So next coming to the gastric glands. So this is gastric surface of gastric mucosa, the inner part I showed na. So this is the this part. Okay, so inner part. So the gastric mucosa will showing the many cells like mucous cells. So mucous cells mainly secrete mucin. Okay, mucin. Then parietal cells. Parietal cell mainly secrete HCl and intrinsic factor. Okay, very important, HCl. Then G cell secrete a hormone called gastrin. Okay, gastrin. Then ECL cell secrete histamine, chief cell secrete pepsinogen, renin and gelatinase. So these are the enzymes. So these glands are mainly secrete the which is present the fundic gland, pylori gland and cardiac glands. So these are not important. So this is important. Okay. So important questions. The parietal cell secrete HCl, chief cell secrete pepsinogen, mucous cell secrete soluble mucus, ECL secrete histamine and G cell secrete gastrin. Okay. So these are important. Next, coming to the composition of gastric juice. So these cells, whatever I am telling, so it in the stomach, mainly the secretion we call it as gastric secretions. Okay, gastric secretion. So daily volume per day is 1000 ml. So not 2. So 1000 ml. So 1000 ml or 1200 1500 ml per day. So which contain water content is 99.5% and the solid is 0.5%. The pH is very acidic, that is 1 to 2, because the presence of HCl, the pH is 1 to 2. Okay, so acidic in nature, the gastric juice is acidic in nature. Inorganic substance like sodium, potassium, magnesium, H+, chloride and bicarbonate is very less, okay, amount. Next comes the enzymes, very important for the digestion of food. So one is a pepsinogen get converted into pepsin in presence of HCl. You have to remember, so all the enzymes are in inactive form. Okay, so only whenever the food enters into the stomach, so these enzymes, the HCl secretion increases. These HCl convert the pepsinogen into pepsin. Okay, so then acts on casinogen, converted into casein, gastric lipase and gastric amylase. So gastric lipase which act on the lipids or lipid substances. So amylase acts on the carbohydrates. Okay. Then urease hydrolyzes urea to ammonia. So gelatinase, lysozymes and intrinsic factors are the organic substances present in the stomach. Okay. So next coming to the HCl. So HCl, you know, it is secreted by parietal cells. So these HCl functions of HCl, it converts the pepsinogen into pepsin. So this pepsin will activate the other enzymes to become a active form. Okay, then give a maximum pH. Give a maximum pH for the activation of many enzymes. Then bactericidal, it kills the bacteria, convert the iron ferric form into ferrous form. Okay, Fe2 plus into Fe3 plus. So and also stimulate the bile and pancreatic juice secretion. Okay. So then, so regulation. So HCl secretion increased by histamine, vagal, acetylcholine, decreased by prostaglandin, somatostatin, H2 blockers and low pH. The nervous regulation of the gastric juice secretion, so can be regulate. We have to regulate how to regulate the gastric juice secretion. So mainly by vagal nerve. Okay, so vagal stimulation, whenever the food enters, the vagal stimulation increases, that will release the acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter. It acts on the muscarinic receptors, like potentiate the action of histamine and gastrin action, and regulate the gastric secretion. So next is the humoral regulation, so mainly by gastrin, okay, and also histamine and all. So next, coming to the phases of gastric secretion. So this gastric juice secretion is not taking place simultaneously. That means slowly it will take. Okay. So we divide this into 3 phases. So secretion will occur in 3 phases. One is cephalic phase, gastric phase, and intestinal phase. So the gastric secretion is taking place in 3 phases. Okay. So one is cephalic phase, gastric phase, and intestinal phase. So also called the regulation of secretion. Okay. So the question is same. So regulation of gastric secretion, or the phases of gastric secretion, both are same. First we will see the cephalic phase. Cephalic phase, cephalus means a head. Okay, so from the brain, whenever you think about the food, or when you are seeing the food, or when the smell comes from the food, okay, so all this sight, smell and thought of food will cause the gastric secretion in the stomach. You feel like some your saliva become watery, or you feel the hungry, right? So when you are seeing or thinking about your favorite food, so that is mainly by the impulses are coming from the brain. Okay, that is called conditioned reflex. The impulses are coming from the brain, so it will stimulate the G cells to secrete the hormone gastrin. So this gastrin go and stimulate the other cells and secrete the HCl and enzymes. Okay, so that is called cephalic phase. And also when you keep the food into your mouth, so now the food is not enter the stomach, but still when you keep the food into the oral cavity, so gastric secretion will begins in your stomach. Okay, so that is called unconditioned reflex. So that is directly stimulate the chief cell and parietal cell secrete the HCl and enzymes. Understood? So you people just write. So these are not required. Okay, condition. So whenever the food in oral cavity, or the sight, smell, thought of the food will stimulate the higher centers like cortex, these are not required, stimulate the brain. So that stimulate the G cells, chief and parietal cell, and secrete the HCl and enzyme. That is enough. Okay, that is called cephalic phase. Understood? So how the cephalic phase operate? So this the cephalic phase of gastric juice secretion is mediated by vagus nerve. Okay, It is mediated by vagal nerve. So that is explained by a sham feeding mechanism. Okay. So in a sham feeding, they are taken one dog, they cut the esophagus, then they feed the dog with the food, but the food is not entering the stomach because they cut the esophagus, right? So but when the food when you you keep the food, when the dog eat the food is not entering the stomach, but they are collecting the gastric juice from the stomach. That means, so it is mainly by the cephalic phase, the stimulation of the vagal nerve in the brain, that will cause the secretion in the stomach. The next one is the gastric phase. So gastric phase is mainly here the 50% of secretion is taking place in this method. So oral phase only 20 to 30% is secreted. Okay. So in the gastric phase, it will begins when the food enter the stomach. Okay, when the food enter the stomach, gastric phase will begins, and major the 50% of secretion is taking place in this phase. Okay, gastric phase. So it is mainly operated by a three reflex. One is the local meandric reflex, vagovagal reflex, and gastrin. Okay, so these two are nervous regulation, and gastrin is a hormone regulation. Okay, so this is overall flow chart. Whenever the food enter the stomach, that will cause the distension. Distension, you know, right? So see in the Google, what is the meaning of distension? Okay, so distension of gastric mucosa. So that time stimulate the ECL cells, and also stimulation of neural mechanism, local neural mechanism. So that will release the acetylcholine directly. It go and stimulate, secrete the acid through GRP. The gastrin hormone is releasing, or by releasing the histamine directly it stimulates the acid secretion. Okay, so this is the mechanism. Understood? The gastric phase, the 50% of secretion is taking place in this phase. Okay, and here the volume of gastric juice is secreted is very high. Okay, and duration of secretion is also, it is more prolonged. Okay, so time will be more, that means it will secrete more, it will take more time. Okay, then here whenever the food enter the stomach, that will cause the distension of wall of the stomach. That time the neural mechanisms like 10th cranial nerve or vagal nerve will operating, and the hormonal mechanism like gastrin is releasing. Okay, there are two mechanisms. One is a neural mechanism by through acetylcholine stimulate, and another one is the release of gastrin. Gastrin is a hormone you get releasing. Okay. So in that we will see the functions of the gastrin. Separately they will ask the functions of a gastrin. So gastrin mainly stimulate the secretion of HCl and pepsin. Stimulate the gastric motility. So motility means the movement. So whatever the food enter the stomach, so that get digested. So after digestion it has to move to intestine, right? It has to go to intestine. So that movement, the gastric movement or the stomach movement, because of gastric motility. So mainly this gastrin will helpful for the gastric motility. Okay, so then promote the growth of gastric mucosa, so stimulate the cardiac sphincter, stimulate the pancreatic and bile juice secretion. Okay, so cardiac sphincter, so it is the sphincter which is present in the cardiac area of the stomach. So ma'am will explain, okay, in anatomy. These are the functions, and also promote the contraction of the gallbladder, improve the intestinal motility. So these are the functions of gastrin. Gastrin is a hormone. So last one is the intestinal phase. So as the food enter the duodenum, now food from the stomach enter the duodenum. Okay, duodenum is the first part of the small intestine. You have to remember. Okay, duodenum is the first part of the small intestine. Small intestine can be divided into 3 parts. Okay, so now the food enters the duodenum or small intestine. Here, so initially, so when the chyme entered the intestine, the gastrin is releasing. Okay, so this gastrin will stimulate the stomach for secretion of gastric juice. Okay, but later, so the secretion will be decreasing by the secretion of secretin, CCK-PZ, somatostatin, GIP, VIP. So these are the hormones secreted by intestine, digestive hormones. Okay, digestive hormones secreted by intestine. So it will inhibit the secretion of gastric juice. So because now the food from the stomach is going to the intestine, you have to stop the formation of gastric juice. Otherwise what will happen? The gastric juice contain HCl. Okay, the HCl will act on the stomach layer and it will cause the erosion, and it will destroy the stomach layer. Okay, so in order to, because the food is not there, so only the HCl is there, so that HCl will digest the wall of the stomach. Okay, so it will show its acidity, so acidic action on the mucosal layer. Okay, so hence now the intestine, in intestinal phase, initially it will be very much, so later it is inhibited by other hormones like secretin, CCK-PZ, somatin, GIP and VIP. So ultimately the gastric secretion will stop. So again, if you take the food, cephalic phase, gastric phase, then intestinal phase. So like this the gastric juice is secreted in 3 forms. Okay, understood? So next one is this is the clinical condition. Okay, pathological condition or clinical physiology. So gastric atrophy, peptic ulcer. So ulcer means there is an inflammation of Helicobacter pylori that increase the peptic activity. So gastric juice secretion will increases, hyperacidity, then decrease mucin content, emotional stress and all, that will also cause the ulcer. The next one is motility of stomach. Okay, motility of the stomach are motor functions. Okay, motor functions of the stomach, it exhibit in 3 form. Okay, so one is receptive relaxation, movement of stomach to facilitate the mixing of food. So within the stomach there is different movements will taking place, so that will facilitate the mixing of food. So you can sometimes you feel your stomach will contraction, so contractions like movement you can see in your stomach, right? So that is for mixing of food. And the last one is a gastric emptying. So emptying means to vacate, so that means whatever the food, the digested food is there, so empty into the duodenum, okay, for propulsion of chyme into the intestine, to move the chyme are food. Now you can't tell the bolus, okay, so chyme into the intestine. So how is taking place we will see. So all this is movements because of the peristaltic wave, okay, peristalsis, because of the peristalsis, so these are taking place. The first one, receptive relaxation. Receptive means to receive, okay. So whenever the stomach receive the food, okay, whenever the stomach receive the food, the muscles in the stomach, in the body of the stomach, and muscles in the stomach get relaxed. Understood? So whenever receptive means receive, whenever the stomach receive the food, the muscles of the stomach get relaxed. That is called receptive relaxation. So this will prevent the build-up of tension in the wall of the smooth muscle. All the digestive tract, the walls are made up of smooth muscle, okay. Like in the heart, it is made up of cardiac muscle. All your digestive part like esophagus, stomach, liver, urinary bladder, everything, okay, is made up of smooth muscle, okay. So whenever I am telling the muscle, you have to remember it is a smooth muscle, okay. So it will prevent the development of tension in the wall of the smooth muscle, okay. So you can so because of this relaxation of the smooth muscle, we can take more and more food, okay. So at large quantity of the food we can take at a time. So otherwise what will happen, if it is not relaxing, if it is constricting, so more amount of food we can't take, okay. So like that. So next is the mixing movement or mixing movements. So here the mixing of the movement, so it will takes place in the middle of the stomach, okay. So in the middle of the stomach, the mixing will taking place. The mixing by peristaltic constrictor waves, okay. The formation of peristaltic constrictor waves. So that means it is enough, okay. So or formation of a mild peristaltic wave, so that will move towards the antrum. So next one, after that there is a powerful peristaltic constrictor. So from here, so this is in the middle, then when it is moving through this antrum, so this mixing movements, this peristaltic wave become powerful, okay. So after that, the propulsion of food. So propulsion of food means now the food is passed through this pyloric sphincter. So here there is one pyloric sphincter is present. So this is a opening, okay. So it will close always. So that is between the stomach and the intestine, okay. So duodenum. So it is always closed. It will open. So whenever the food enter here, so it is very narrow. So little bit food will pass through this, and it is coming back. So that will increase the so it is coming back to the stomach. So from the stomach, the little bit food is passing through the sphincter and reach the intestine. Again it is coming back to the stomach. That is called retropulsion. So retropulsion will helpful for the mixing of the food and movement of the food towards the intestine, okay. So that's complete the gastric motility. So in gastric motility or gastric emptying, the many factors like the nature of the food. So food means physical or the chemical nature of the food will also influence the gastric emptying. So that means if you are taking lipid substance, lipid food more, fat food more, that will take more time to emptying. Okay, so like that. Then osmolarity of the food, then extent of distension of the stomach. Okay, so how much your stomach get distended. So you can come, you can see with your friend or any your family members that some people will take very little bit of food, right, because their stomach, their ability of the stomach to distend is very less. Okay, so like that. So then acidity of the duodenum, so if the more acidity in the duodenum, so that will also helpful for easy emptying of the food. So that's complete the stomach. Thank you all.